What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pulpit Chat. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Twitter, TikTok, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, all of our YouTube videos. Hit that notification bell bar, subscribe, make it update content. Let's get it popping. Alright, so I guess y'all know the news. I'm pretty sure y'all heard the Clippers and Pelicans play tonight for the playing tournament game for the 8th seed in the Western Conference. And I'm pretty sure y'all heard that all-star point guard or all-star small forward Paul George, PG, will not be playing tonight due to health and safety protocols for COVID-19. I'm going to talk about how I feel about this, how it's going to impact the game, and do I feel like the Clippers are going to win or they're going to lose. And yeah, let's get into it. So when I officially heard about it, I kind of was a little bit in shock because I went to the Clipper game last week when they played the Sacramento Kings last Saturday. And when I went into the arena, the lady who, I brought my vaccination card and everything, I had my mask. And once I got to the arena, the front door, the lady didn't even check my vaccination card. And nobody was wearing masks around me, nothing like that, which is completely different how it was about, I say, around November, that they still were required you have your vaccination card and your mask out here in California. So I was a little bit surprised that they didn't, ask for that when I was there. The thing about it is, when I heard about it, I thought the health and safety protocols of COVID was pretty much, they weren't really harping on that too much. And, we ain't really heard about players being out because of COVID protocols for a minute. So when I heard about PG, I was kind of like a little bit surprised. I'm like, what? Like, what's, why is he going to be out for, COVID-19 protocols? Then they actually added on to the fact that he had symptoms. So basically, he's actually sick right now with COVID symptoms. Like, he probably either has the flu or cold or, sore throat, whatever, aches, body aches, whatever. So he actually has these symptoms. Now, I had COVID twice. I had COVID back in 2020, and I had COVID last year. I had COVID twice. So I had it one time before I got the shot, second time after I got the shot. I noticed the difference because with the shot, they say you're not exempt from getting COVID, but what it does, it eases the symptoms, meaning that you're probably not going to be as sick as long. So in my experience, when I caught COVID, the first time I caught it, I was out for about 2 weeks. I was sick as a dog. Like, I couldn't move. I had body aches. I was low of fluid. Didn't want to drink nothing. Couldn't keep nothing down. Fever up to like 102, 103. I was miserable. The second time I got the COVID, after I got the shot, I was only sick for about 2-3 days. Well, actually 2 days I was about sick. So, the shot does eases the symptoms. So PG got the shot, so I'm pretty sure, he's going to be pretty much good with the next, 2 to 5 days. He'll be straight. But how does this affect the Clippers? Let's get into it. Now, of course, people who, seeing this pretty much a lot of them are saying that it's pretty much done for the Clippers. Like, this isn't their year. They got to go through this, thing with Paul George being out again after the torn UCL. He's just been out. He was out for about, he only played 27 games in the 31 games in the regular season. So he's missed a third of the year pretty much. So more than a third of the year. A lot of people writing the Clippers off. How I feel about it is, initially I was kind of like, it was a blow. Because I'm looking at Paul George is the best player on the court. Then when they face the Pelicans, CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram, these guys will come to play. Jonas Valanciunas, they beat us twice in the regular season, and I'm looking at when I watched the games, I was like, okay, the Pelicans can match up with us, right? So I'm kind of like, okay, well this is not really good news to have PG out, on the court. But then I started putting my basketball cap on. I told y'all before I have 3 caps. I have the basketball cap, the fan cap, and the analyst cap. The basketball cap is the cap that, I use, when I put myself in a player's shoes. So I play basketball. The fan cap is, I root for the team that I love or whatever I want to go for, I want to win. And the analyst cap is me, talking to y'all, breaking down the game. So I got 3 different caps. If you ask me as the fan, I'll be like, yeah, that's trouble. PG's not there. If you ask me as the analyst, I would still kind of lean towards, we're in trouble with PG not there. When I put the basketball cap, I remember about matchups and how teams gel and how you can take a minus and make it to a positive. If you watch the Clippers all year, they've been playing without their two best players all season, right? They've been playing without Kawhi Leonard. They've been playing without Paul George all year, and they've been able to beat good to great teams. They beat the Phoenix Suns this year. They beat the Golden State Warriors this year. They beat the Dallas Mavericks this year. They beat a lot of good teams this year, right? So they beat the Brooklyn Nets this year. You know, they came back from, I think, 20-something in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? They beat Philly. They beat a lot of good teams and coming back from down 20, 25 points. So all those teams that I just named are better than this New Orleans Pelicans team, right? So my thing is, I don't think the Clippers are looking at it like, okay, this is a big panic moment. They're looking at it like, okay, you know, we took a blow, you know, our PG being back, because my belief is if PG was there, this would be a pretty good win for the Clippers, like 10 to 15 point win. But now that he's not going to be there, it's going to be more of a struggle for the Clippers. So with that being said, well, I mean, if you look at the track record, I love history. History is my favorite subject. If you look at the track record of the Clippers, look at what they've done all season. They've came back from a 35-point win against the Washington Wizards on the road. They came back from a 24-point lead by the Denver Nuggets at home earlier this season. 25-point lead against the Philadelphia Sixers on the road. A 20-something lead against the Brooklyn Nets on the road. They came back from multiple different leads this whole season without Kawhi Leonard, without Paul George. So they have an identity of who they really are. Coach Ty Lue is going to have this team ready. I believe that even though they lost Paul George, they have a great chance of winning tonight, because this is what's going to happen. Now it's going to matter if Ty Lue, his coaching style, he has to have the right rotations in the game, because here's what's going to happen. The New Orleans Pelicans are very strong with their scoring of CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram, right? That's how they, get going. They have to be able to jump on those two early. My starting lineup would be this: Reggie Jackson at the 1, Terrence Mann at the 2, Norman Powell at the 3, Robert Covington at the 4, and Visca Sub at the 5. Why do I say put Terrence Mann and Robert Covington in? Because Terrence Mann's a 6'5" guard, and last time I saw them play the Pelicans, Terrence Mann was giving CJ McCollum problems. So I would put Terrence Mann in the game and have also Norman Powell as a 3, because Norman Powell's a good, strong defender as well. Now, for Brandon Ingram, I would have Robert Covington. Robert Covington's 6'7", 6'8". Not only is he going to give you great defense, but he can also hit shots. The Clippers are going to win this game on their defense. They don't want to go into try to outscore this team and stuff like that. They want to go in there trying to contain CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. Now, Brandon Ingram ain't really been to this position before. CJ McCollum has. CJ McCollum, y'all remember, back in 2000, I believe, was it 18 or one of those years, they played the Denver Nuggets in a Game 7. They was able to win on the road with Damian Lillard going, very cold that game. And CJ McCollum had like 30-something points where he showed out. He's very composed. He can shoot the mid-range shot. He's not rushed. But CJ McCollum can also be contained as well. But you got to have the right type of defender on him. Marcus Morris is not going to serve well on defense tonight. He has to come off the bench. We're going to need him off the bench, getting shots up. But they got to start on the defensive, and they got to punch this team in the mouth. They cannot let this team stick around. That's what they did with Minnesota. They allowed them to stick around for too long because they're trying to score, but they're not playing elite defense throughout the whole game. Utilize those 3D guys. Utilize Robert Covington. Utilize Nicholas Batum. Utilize Norman Powell. Utilize Terrence Mann. Utilize those guys, man. Your offense is going to get going. I don't know if Luke Kennard is playing tonight, but if he's playing, that's going to be another plus because Luke Kennard can spread the floor. Marcus Morris is going to hit shots tonight. I can already tell you right now. But they need to bring him off the bench and let Robert Covington start just so they can get their feet wet, because what's going to happen is if you allow Terrence Mann and Robert Covington in the game, they don't command a lot of shots. Reggie Jackson can get off when he's not an elite defender, but if you got guys who can play defense and take the slack off of him, he can focus more on the offensive end. Norman Powell, he can play both sides of the ball, but I'd rather Norman Powell focus more on the offensive side of the ball because, again, we got guys that can check McCollum and Brandon Ingram. I already said Terrence Mann could check CJ McCollum, and Robert Covington could check Brandon Ingram. And then Robert Covington, when he gets out the game, Nicholas Batum can come in. So you have forces all coming throughout the game. They got to keep this pressure on New Orleans. I'm telling you, they're going to play hard tonight. New Orleans is going to play like they did. New Orleans feel like they can win this game. I'm telling you right now, they have the ultimate belief. They have confidence. They love playing for Willie Green. And they're going to come in here ready. So the Clippers have to come in there with a mindset that they're not going to allow. They got to make the Pelicans understand they're not on their level, right? I have faith in the Clippers because I've seen this before. I saw this last year when they played Utah in Game 5. When Kawhi Leonard went out in Game 4 the previous game, everybody ripped them off. Everybody ripped them off saying they can't win Game 5. Paul George has 37 points, and they go and win Game 6 the next game after being down by, I believe, 25 points and going to the third and the fourth quarter. They did it so many times. I just named all the comebacks that came back all through this year. So they have an identity to do this. This is another walk in the park. But they got to start off strong. They cannot go in there lackadaisical and just being like no effort on defense. When they hit shots, defensive end has to be impacted. And Ty Lue's going to have this team ready, man. Ty Lue's the king of coming back. But the only thing about Ty Lue, I just don't want him to do, don't wait too long to make adjustments. If something's not working, make the adjustment, take that person out the game, right? But the Clippers, I have ultimate confidence they'll be okay. You guys let me know what y'all think in the comments. Pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. Out here like swimwear.